OU versus O in spelling words like color/color. Often, I have to decide whichever is better in mail, forums, letters. For instance, color versus color, flavor versus flavor, behavior versus behavior, humor versus humor, rumor versus rumor, honor versus honor, armor versus armor. The difference comes certainly from the country of origin of the writer. Basically, Americans write O and English people write OU. Please confirm that. By the way, all the words left side are underlined in Firefox, since the spell checker is set to American English. What I would like to know, from a non-native English speaker's perspective, does it really matter, nowadays with the new technologies and international exchanges, to make a distinction between OU and O? Does it hurt the reader if they are both used in the same text, mixing color and honor, or even worse, color and color? What is the current trend?
You're correct that O is us and OU is non-us. It'd be considered bad style to switch between them in the same text. Generally, you should just choose one style and use it consistently, and you will be understood. I've heard a rule that if you're writing for a mostly American audience, you should use the American spelling, and otherwise use the international forms, but that may not even be necessary. One place that mixing styles is allowed is when quoting verbatim from text, or in technical literature where spellings must be retained exactly. I asked him what color he wanted, and he said, "I'm no good at picking colors." The color, #FFFF, property indicates a text color of white.
So, first, yes, the O variations are preferred in the US while the OU variations are preferred in Commonwealth realms, at least, the ones I'm familiar with. Any counterexamples would be welcome. As to the question of whether it matters, it depends greatly on the type of communication, the purpose, the reader, etc. While mixing and matching shouldn't hurt comprehension, as a matter of style, I would suggest consistency within a text in any formal or business-related writing, especially the color/color type. In informal emails, forum posts, etc. I wouldn't spend a ton of time worrying with it. As far as which you should choose, I would keep the following in mind. If you choose the reader's preferred spelling, it will likely not have any particular effect on them as they read it. However, if you choose the UK spelling for a US audience or vice versa, it will potentially be noticed as an explicit difference by the reader. This can have a couple of side effects. It can take them out of the flow of the material, breaking up a nicely flowing sentence and distracting slightly from the content. It can also inform the reader of your background. While neither of these may matter if you're posting a question on a computer help forum, if it was a patriotic statement for a UK MP, I certainly wouldn't want it to appear to have been written by a Yank, for instance. As several people have stated, the O form is American. You should pick a format and stick with it. If you write O, your writing will be perceived as American. Otherwise, it will be perceived as non-American. Does that matter to you, and do you think it matters to your audience? If so, pick the appropriate style that best suits you or your writing. As for trends, one thing I've noticed as a Canadian is that many computer programs only recognize US and UK English and not Canadian or Australian or New Zealand or. Also, the default for lots of software tends to be US. So if you want to pick the lazy, pragmatic route, the American spelling will probably be more convenient.
I'm not even going to mention the fact that O is American English and OU is British English, as it has been mentioned by every other answer. Whoops. I just mentioned it winking smiley. But since you asked for trends, I've noticed that in America, O is used almost exclusively, except for instances where people try to sound fancy and or formal, such as wedding invitations, as in we request the honor of your presence. Happy face, note that this is an American invitation. The wedding is in California, winky face.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.